and welcome to Crossover Ketchup, where we talk about ketchup that's crossed over. Ah! We're starting today with the best episode of all time, Ghost Rider vs. Spawn. How excited are you guys for it? Who do you think's gonna win?
Dude,
how you feeling about this?
I'm just so surprised and delighted that we got Among Us vs. Fall Guys 2 before that. I did not think that a sequel was necessary, but, you know, I love being proven wrong by this show all the time.
Speaking of being proven correct, so Ghost Rider vs. Spawn, I believe, got announced at MagFest, right?
Correct. Yes.
So I did not know this. I did not know this at all. All I knew for a time was that an episode got announced. Didn't bother looking at it. Didn't want to know until I have a conversation with Biff, because he'd apparently learned about it. And he was like, do you know what it is? And I was like, no. And he says, well, I'm not going to spoil anything, but it's an episode I'm excited for, but you probably wouldn't guess what it is. And then after about 40 minutes of just throwing shit at the wall, I go, wait a minute. I know exactly what it is. It's Ghost Rider vs. Spawn. And he says, how the fuck did you know that? How did you figure that out? And I was like, I'm just that good. The actual steps of my logic was, okay, something he likes that I wouldn't know about. So it would have to be cape shit. It's gotta be, that would be something that he would be excited for, that if he was, I would probably not guess it. And then I was like, okay, it can't be Marvel versus DC. I pretty much know the literal handful of matchups that he would not be unexcited for. So it had to be something other. And my first thought was maybe it would be Constantine versus Rhino. And I was like, actually, I think he'd rather shit in his hands and clap than listen to DC cosmology, especially when it's then followed on by the even less comprehensible SMT cosmology. So, probably not. And then I went, oh, you know what? I know exactly what Marvel DC matchup exists out there that he is, last I heard, was a fan of, that he probably thinks I don't remember about, and it's Ghost Rider vs. Spawn. And you know what? I was correct, and I'm excited for it. He's excited for it. Yeah.
My logic when I found out there was revealed, I was like, well, that makes sense. We literally just got the Kratos episode.
Yeah.
It'd be really funny if they did it in sequence, especially because they didn't do that. Especially because we know for a fact that they did not do that intentionally.
Okay, so when Hulk vs. Godzilla drops, are we expecting Doomsday vs. 682 after, or are we expecting the out of nowhere Broly run back? Because it's not going to be Gamera.
The Gamera run back.
It's not going to be Gamera.
It's going to be Doomsday versus Broly.
Yeah! Doomsday vs. Broly. The episode literally just reused the DBX's animation, and that's it. Why? We gotta say, but
the DBX is really good for no reason.
For a DBX, it's just actually good. Yeah. I think I don't remember who won though.
I'm not sure if it's like.
I think Doomsday won that.
Doomsday fucking gutted him.
Yeah, it's like the only time Broly loses a versus animation, because almost every other time he just wins.
Yeah.
Not even gonna
He's not that guy, bro.
I would agree if it's Z Broly, but for Super Broly, he is that guy.
Super Broly is that guy, but the problem is that most animations are just Z Broly because that's the one that has sprites. Really fucking good sprites. Really fun sprites, to be honest. I love using the Extreme Butoden sprites of Broly.
Super Broly is that guy, but if you put a blanket over his head, he would think that it's night, and then he would go to sleep.
Yeah, exactly. He's that guy.
I know.
He's him.
Mm-hmm.
I love my guy that's voiced by Johnny Young Bosch and no one else.
And of course, this means when Ang Traveler happens, we're going to get the Edward Elric run back.
Edward Elric versus Harry Potter.
I feel like
I don't know.
If it was any matchup other than that one, it would probably be more excited. Like, people would be more excited for that than Ang Traveler. Just because, hey, it's Edward coming back. They'll do him right this time. He won't just be Doug Walker. I'm trying to think, are there any other characters coming back who, like, are returners? I guess we have Ghost Rider right here. So we could get fucking, I don't know, Lobo versus Wolverine.
Wario.
Lobo versus Wario, yeah. And then King Dedede versus...
K. Rool.
Yeah, K rule, and then the chain ends.
Then we get Donkey Kong versus Crash anyway, because God forbid.
And then we get Spyro versus
Aang, and then the
Spyro versus Aang. Yeah, they are both the avatar of all the elements, technically. So you know.
Too true.
Yeah, I don't think we know what style this episode's going to be, but it's got to be sprites, right?
I think we saw a hand-drawn thing in the next time trailer.
Oh, I wasn't paying any attention to that.
Yeah, no, the ending shot is like a peak of the fight.
I have to imagine it would be sprites though, and with hand-drawn bits. And what I'm curious about is there's two ways they could do Spawn's like cloak, and those ways are hand draw it, which would look great but also be really time consuming. At least for like the money shots. Obviously, I feel like most of the time it's just going to be like a cloak, like a sprite. But the other possible option would be to do it like the cloak itself in 3D at various points, and I'm wondering how that would look.
It would look 3D.
Shut the fuck up.
You know, I imagine that people
I can see it looking really good. But I guess
episode.
I think about Phoenix versus Raven, right? And I think about how they did the Phoenix Force and the Soul Self. I do kind of imagine the cloak would probably have that sort of deal going on when it needs to do shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Spawn a lot more than I was expecting when I started to look into him more. Mostly because of Keith David, because good God, I want to watch that cartoon of him like stat. It is so fucking raw.
The cartoon I hear a lot of fun things about. The comics, oh boy.
Stop, who cares about that?
No one can say good or bad things about the comics because no one's actually read them. We established
this. Can I show you this awesome image Bang made, by the way? Hold on.
Alright, you can show the image, but Nemesis. People have read the comics, and that's kind of the problem, because so a lot of people in the Death Battle Wiki server have started reading it, right? They've also started dropping it, because at a certain point, around the 200s, it just gets so bad and repetitive that they just don't care anymore, and they switch their roots to Ghost Rider. At least that's where I have left off, and that's what I've seen.
Yeah, that's perfect.
It's so cinema.
I like how I literally did that during that one Spawn Kratos debate, but like I was in the right, and that feels wrong. Because no one had read the Spawn comics, and I just like, everyone shut the fuck up. The 5D Spawn scan, that's in a completely different comic. That's not a Spawn comic. I just dropped that on everyone. And I don't remember exactly what the response was. I think there was arguments of how applicable it should be, because it is an Image Comics imprint. But yeah, there was like debates over whether it should even apply. But I at least I got a conversation going, because that whole chat was just a lot of Kratos glazing, and then Spawn, like people coming in like, so anyway, Spawn wins, right? People going, we've got no fucking evidence for that. Someone drop a scan. I'm glad this Death Battle's happening, because it means that someone out there now has actually researched Spawn proper. Because I genuinely, like, I expect Ghost Rider to win, right? But I have no idea where Spawn's gonna get, because I don't trust a single person I've ever heard talk about how strong Spawn is.
Personally, I think he's gun level, because he got hurt by bullets by that one clip I saw.
I'm pretty sure, like,
so around Goku's level. Yeah. Okay.
I'm curious how they're gonna handle this, because Ghost Rider has a lot of street level sort of showings. But then you look at Spawn, and like a huge part of his history is very street level stuff. And I'm wondering, are they going to incorporate that into the episode, where it starts off in a more grounded than I think people will expect due to their characters' reputations, and then once they start going all god mode, then it gets really crazy to what people probably expected.
I mean, like, Ghost Rider versus Lobo was already pretty street level as far as the episode went.
Yeah, but I feel that was a bit before we got to the modern day, where a lot of people just kind of want the biggest, most over-the-top thing ever. with matches like this, where they just went, oh, it's gotta be like, oh, cosmic, and I want to see them burn the multiverse.
Just be
to
raw
ash.
and cool. Just be raw and cool. Like literally, just like these are like some of the coolest characters they've ever used. Just let them be raw and cool.
When Spawn swears, make it sound cool and don't make it sound try hard. Because there is a very fine line to draw, and like Mortal Kombat 11, they very clearly draw that line at he always has to sound try hard and never cool. Which is shocking, because it's Keith David doing it. And he says them cool, but the lines themselves just are not good.
He's gonna go in there and he's gonna look at Ghost Rider. He's gonna be like, "My sons could kick his ass."
My sons could kick your ass. What? No. Keep
My
your
son's not
hands
even born
off
yet.
my son.
I remember watching that Mortal Kombat trailer, and they put way more sauce into that than any other guest character trailer.
You know, when you think about it, Only Man Bardock did the whole son, like, father thing better than Kratos Azura. Anyway, I am
you said it. We gotta talk about it.
very excited for Ghost Rider Spawn, and
No,
yeah.
you can't skip it, man. Come on.
what do you think is going to be next? Like, just throwing shit at the wall. What do you think could possibly be the episode for April?
Mahito versus Shigaraki.
I'm being serious, mate.
Yeah, I am too.
I think it should be Ankh.
What I expected.
Who do you think's gonna win Ghost Rider Spawn?
What? Oh right, Hyper actually can't answer any of these questions. I feel like Ghost Rider's probably gonna win this, but I can absolutely I could genuinely see potentially the argument of, depending on where Ghost Rider sits and where Spawn sits, that is just gonna be like, so both of them could be seen as roughly equal, but Spawn has a higher access to holy weaponry than Ghost Rider does. But then I don't know, like, the properties of Zerathos, because Zerathos is an angel. Like, he is holy, in a sense. I don't know, like, the properties of Ghost Rider's fire, because it is also called Hellfire, but it comes from an angel. So I don't know how that all works.
I'm sorry, but, like, I don't know Zerathos that well, but, like, people call him an angel, and then I look at him, like, how?
Oh, when you actually see what Zerathos looks like, he just looks like an angel, but with Scorpion's head, pretty much. He does have, like, the big fluffy wings, I believe.
Okay.
You know...
Yeah, and he says very angelic and, you know, things that you would hear from Jesus's mouth.
Yeah,
like,
you know,
we'll
like...
all die screaming.
Like, isn't that literally what was said? The angel comes down and is like, be not afraid. You will all die screaming! Then leaves.
Yeah.
Isn't that literally what
Yeah,
happens in the story
nice.
of Moses? Isn't that how the angel of death killed all the firstborns? He just came down and screamed that, and then flooded the streets with fire and killed Lobo and all the firstborns at the same time.
See, like, this is what people don't understand when they read the New Testament. Like, at the Last Supper, when Jesus was... Okay, I'm just gonna stop there.
To be clear, Gumball is... He can make these
I am
jokes.
Christian.
He is Christian.
I can make...
And I will make these jokes
You
up
see-
until the
you
point where he tells me that I've gone too far, and then I will dial it back out of respect.
But not enough for Jesus Christ too. Once that happens, he's fucked. Out of my head.
That's okay. He will turn the other
I
cheek.
want-
So
Stop.
anyway,
Next.
Nemesis said the word, so we kind of have to talk about Kratos versus
No, I
Osborn
want to talk
now.
about something else right now. I care about that right now.
Is this going to be a running bit that I try to bring back Kratos versus Osborn, but
So-
we just keep changing the subject?
Yeah, unfortunately,
I
I
wanna
realized too
talk
late
about-
that I can't ask Hyper what the next episode's going to be, because he won't be making a guess, he would just be telling me. So,
Yeah, no. So Kratos. I mean,
Yeah, the
sorry.
next time is
the next
Huggy
time.
Wuggy versus Jumbo Josh. Woo.
oh, that makes a lot of sense, actually. That's very
All
funny.
right, so I've been
It could
waiting
release
for
on
this
April
one.
1st.
I think, you know, I've been waiting for this one for a long time. Ever since I was a boy, my mom told me all about, you know, struggling with autism, trying to come into my own. I didn't learn how to speak properly until I was 5 years old. And then when I was 5, on my 5th birthday, I blew out the candles. I looked at my mom and I said, "Mother, I want Huggy Wuggy versus Jumbo Josh." And she disowned me.
And that's why you've got foster parents now. I actually don't know if
Yeah.
you do. So
Very-
if you do, then that's gonna. it's
I do
gonna
not. I do not.
Okay, good.
I do. Someone else does. I'm not gonna.
Hyper, your turn. Tag in.
Hmm?
The next segment's
So anyway,
yours.
as for like
dickhead.
times,
Alrighty. Awesome.
I was going to talk about the next time. Okay.
Well, you stupid.
Awesome sauce.
Yes. But that's besides.
Go, Gadget, Hyper Starman. Go. Hyper Starman, I
Okay,
choose you.
I want to talk about right now my Celeste animation that I have been working towards.
Official ordeal, by the way. Official ordeal.
No, it's not. but all.
I mean,
it's.
I mean,
not,
it's like
I'm not official. What?
yes, it's official now. You work for Celeste.
Shut up. But also, like, I've been working on this for like 2.5 years now. You might be wondering why this is in the segment. Go watch the video. But this is something I have been wanting to do for a while now, for a lot of my years, since a lot of my like late teen and early adulthood, that I wanted to make something like this, and I just wasn't sure how to at the time. But slowly I got in touch with some really cool people throughout the years, and I said during that time I wanted to make this now. I went way over ambitious than I originally intended. It was just gonna be me and Red, and well, that didn't happen. And I am like, I look at this and I'm like, how did I make this? How did I make this happen?
I always had faith.
It's a
in you.
surreal feeling to me. It's a surreal feeling to me. I am very happy with how it turned out.
Yeah, no, this is really awesome. I wanted to stream Celeste at some point.
You quit before you finish.
I quit before I finish, but I'm gonna try again because it's on Game Pass.
That's such
My
a
Switch was
humble
acting up, so
Oh, blaming the
yeah.
Switch.
I will literally ship you with Bifflead. Shut up.
Biff is ace. Please don't.
Okay, then I won't do that. I'll find someone else. Mark my words. I'll find someone.
So okay, this originally I wasn't gonna well, I mean if you're I guess I'll spoil it now, since if you're watching this segment, but if you haven't watched the video, originally I was gonna make this centered around Undertale, because I mean that's like my favorite franchise of all time, but I was like yes, it is me. But also, I was like thinking to the back of my mind, there's like 5 billion of them already. I think something else deserves the spotlight, and I ultimately chose Celeste because a lot of my close friends really like it, and I looked up on YouTube and I'm like, wow, they don't exist.
Celeste
Which
doesn't
really
exist?
baffled me.
Damn.
I mean, Celeste
Yeah,
animations, but yeah. And I wanted to go as far deep as I can with this, and I don't want to say, but none of this was I didn't just ask these people, I'll say that. It took a lot out of me, but I am very, very proud with how this came out. Huge shout outs to like all the people who helped animate this, and also the editors as well, like DJ and Max, just coming in and helping me.
I'm sorry. It's just that you say I didn't just ask the mental image. Hello, DJ. It's just like fucking Jigsaw.
Yeah, that's actually what I meant. Yeah, totally. But
You've been editing for quite a while now.
I know I saw a lot of people saying, "Oh wow, this is just like Indie Cross," and then I see some comments where it's just like, "Oh, this is like Indie Cross but better." Stop saying that, please don't. I don't like want to hear that. This is not. It's not. But
That's really funny considering the context.
Yeah, because I made.
Can I say it? Can I say it?
Well, I mean, I don't know if you're thinking the same thing I am, but sure.
It's really funny you're getting all the moral comparisons. He was almost on this project.
Well, I mean, he never. Yeah, he was just kind of busy, and I'm like, it's fine, it's whatever. I don't think he. I don't know if he ever saw it, but because like I did kind of sent him towards it. I sent like an email towards him, like when he like when he saw commissions, and ultimately it just kind of fell through. I don't know if he responded back or not.
I imagine by
it's
the
like,
time you pitched it to him, he was already knee deep in either Bowser versus Eggman or Indie Cross episode 2. One of the two.
yeah, I mean it happens. But I'm still very happy with how this came out. I don't know if he's seen it yet. I don't know if he's seen it yet, but if he has, that'd be cool. But this this is something I actually made before Indie Cross was even a thing as well. It just took a long time, and there was a lot of scenes that I had written down, and just like actually seeing it on screen is just like, I'm sorry, I just can't get over it. It just looks really cool.
You
And like
know,
way
it's so surreal as a creative when you're writing for so long and then someone finally comes along and brings your ideas to life. There's no real words to really describe that feeling. And
Yeah.
it's so surreal. And you were introduced to Undertale through Watch Mojo. That's fucking crazy.
I'm gonna kill you. Why would you say that in public? Fuck hell.
So anyway, we could talk about Kratos
Yeah,
versus
but-
Asura now, right?
But like, yeah, no. Anyways,
Let him pick out
I
what he
put
likes.
yeah, no. I put in a lot of effort to this. I really try to make everything blend in seamlessly together, going from part to part. There's a lot of subtle things I've added in, a lot of background characters that I'm wonder if everyone's caught yet by this point, and just a ton of extra details and stuff, and also
The
that
moral of the
final
story
image
is go watch it.
brings me
Linked in the
so much joy.
description. Go watch it. It'll be one of
There's
top
there's
things I
also
like.
a Fairwolf track tied to it. We're gonna talk about here. It's a music moment. And we
Yeah,
can
oh
talk
yeah, no,
about it again in
yeah,
music
I can
moment.
talk about it here. Yeah, real quick. That I commissioned Beowulf as well to make a huge track for it, because it basically just like getting all like following like the main like reach for the summit theme, but like with all the melodies of like all the different games and themes coming in
Yep.
as she interacts with them, and I really like how that came out as well. It's so good. And also a fun fact, that intro animation alone took like a year.
Yeah, no, hyper. You know, he didn't animate any of this, but he worked really hard.
I mean, I wrote, directed, and did all the sound, and helped edit the second half as well.
He
and,
also
like, put
had to
everything
work
together
to
and
make
cleaned
the
up.
money to be able to pay for it.
Yeah, that's the big one. Yeah,
That's the thing too.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna say how much. Just yeah.
About $12, I think.
keep in mind all of this on a Wendy's budget.
What's this kind of thing?
That doesn't sound like that.
that-
versus void.
Wait, he wanted to talk about Kratos Asura. What do you think
okay,
about
so-
my 1 second punch out?
Yeah, you know, the 1 second punch out. Everyone should go watch 1 second punch out. By the way, 1 minute melee is back. But they had to rebrand a little bit.
Yeah, I have not gotten around to making
and they
any more of the
uploaded it
short
on that-
episodes because nobody watched them.
Yeah, no. So they re-uploaded their new 1 minute melee shows on them is on Nemesis channel now. It's really weird. No one's talking about it. You thought with all the
Hyper,
people
what did you
begging for
think
it
of
to
the
be
1 second
back.
punch out of Kratos versus Azura?
I think it was very awesome.
Is there any other Kratos versus Asura related things we should be talking about right
Nope.
now?
Alright, so,
Okay.
moving on to... Hold on, I gotta get my notepad up so I can take notice of timestamps to make the editing process easier. What am I doing?
Okay.
Okay, yeah,
so
versus Void time.
So this isn't. I'm going to talk about this first because it has the most for me to talk about. So back in Death Battle Season 8, they chose an episode during the mid-season break called Akuma versus Shao Kahn,
Oh.
and people don't seem to like that episode for some reason. And then this one guy was like, "All right, stand back, I got this." And that guy's name is Striding Spark, correct? We talked about this once before in the first part of Akuma versus Shao Kahn, where, you know, there's an actual story. There's a lot of characterization. The sprite animation is very fluid, really good with poses, sells impact well. But, you know, it ended on a cliffhanger, so we were waiting for the second part. The second part is here, and my God, I I am the famous guy who hates everything when it comes to Mortal Kombat. After the classic era with a K, I think Mortal Kombat is not really good. And well, and then you see this versus animation, and I'm a Mortal Kombat fan again, marginally speaking. This shit is actually really awesome. It it does what nothing nothing that Mortal Kombat has been able to do for 15 years now. Shao Kahn feels like a threat.
The scene with him pulling the souls of like different bosses is like the hypest thing ever.
Akuma feels so much like an underdog in this thing. It's insane. I really, really, really like this. Words. Nemesis, do you have anything to add?
No, it's just good. I will admit to being distracted by the background of the entire first half because the sprites for that background is something I've used a lot. So this fight takes place in the same area that Sharktopus versus Indominus's like final bit did.
Same universe.
Yeah, same universe.
It's like the 1 minute mailing forest. Everything just happens there.
Yeah. That did distract me. That's not the fault of the animation, though. Of course, that's not even close to the animation's fault.
I am surprised at how well they use the freaking Shao Kahn sprites. It looks so well made and like so fluid and like actually cool. It's like how.
This is part 1 technically, but I still remember that finish him segment. I thought, okay, Shao Kahn's gonna win. Okay, I feel like a waste of time. And then Akuma still fights back, and I was like, oh shit. And then it goes to part 2, and then that just kind of been hooked ever since. And a spoiler alert, it's still not over. It looks like we're gonna get a part 3, and I am
This is the
so
final
hyped.
round.
Which, honest to God, I think I'm more hyped in this than pretty much almost any Death Battle announcement that you could throw at me at the moment. This has been cooking so hard.
But Aang versus Traveler.
But Sawmill.
You should have known that I was gonna come to you with that. Like, come on, mate.
I'd rather you not come for me for everything. I'm a virgin.
Yeah, I believe you.
There's no real rebuttal I can make there.
Alright, so there's
All right.
So do we want to talk about
there are
Hype's favorite thing ever now?
Yeah, more misogynistic Rayman.
No, it's his favorite like matchup of ever time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit. Sans versus Ness?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, thank God. I was really hoping that we could get a real palate cleanser.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, I commissioned the light for this Ness versus Frisk animation. It was for my DB pitch that I did. I originally this was just 1 minute. He doubled the length and decided to just, hey, let me just use all of Frisk's abilities and weapons. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then just use the majority of Ness's stuff too. And I'm like, damn.
And you still made him use PK Fire.
Okay, well, I mean, I told them ahead of time, hey, just use stuff that Ness knows exclusively in the games, and they're like, oh, I forgot. And they're like, it's fine, it's iconic. Like, I'm gonna be real. If he ever used it in a DB, I think it's fine. Like, I think only PK Fire and Starstorm should be there. Like, you could just throw in the excuse he learned it in, like, the trophies description based on Smash. It's iconic. It's whatever. But just
in this non-canon thing that has technically no relation to Ness's story at all. Yeah, I think just like how Xenoverse is exactly why it makes sense for 18 to be able to absorb energy,
True. But like, I don't think it's. I don't think
analysis is they're gonna talk about all the advantages like Frisk has. And you're gonna be like, fortunately, Ness had the ability to use pyrokinesis, and that's why he wins.
Yeah, Ness learned pyrokinesis off screen, and that's why he wins.
Oh, he was training under Blackbeard.
By the way, this is funny. I left a comment on the video. It was just like a smile emoji face, and you know, it was just because like, you know, I made it and I really liked it.
You made it.
And then the comments just turned into did I say make it? I said commissioned it. And then
oh my god, yeah, I see it. Let's go down this rabbit hole. Smiley face, Ness solo, yeah, depends. No, he obliterate the verse beyond negative diff. What are you even saying? Then scale him? Like, id gaff about your negs if you can't back it up. No one talks about it, but it's annoying that people have to reinforce to everyone how their favorite character is super strong. Frisk is literally immortal with determination. The heck are you on about? It can be negated easily, lol. Frisk Kara has the power to end the world. Ness has the power to stop a being who's threatening a full infinite dimensional cosmology. Wrong! That being is essentially below 6 dimensions, and anything that is in an multiverse, even if you say it's infinite into infinities of infinite infinities, is still just below 5D. Azrael in his base form had power to destroy whole game world that has complex multiversal normal calcs. Choose the winner. Teardrop, hands together. Gygas, which couldn't destroy an below 5D universe in his final form, is stronger than Ness. I don't see any reason as to why Frisk that fought Azrael should lose here. Biki, he becomes one with the universe himself, so that means he got that Striengter that destroyed Gigas at the end of the game. A shame all these arguments will mean nothing. This animation will only have Ness losing and his friends dying. Haha, I'm pretty sure he's referring to the Earthbound manga where it states that there are worlds that are infinitely parallel to each other. Wrong! Azrael has the power to destroy the timelines only, and Frisk didn't exactly fight him, but was trying to save him. Azrael wanted to destroy the game world, lol. Game world equal multiverse. Straw man version of ARG, but yeah, it was just meant to be a summary.
All I left was a smile emoji. I don't know why they just decided to go to war with each other. I didn't like say anything. I just like smile emoji is like, oh, you want to debate? Let's debate. I am so tired of debating this in public. I don't have fun debating it in public. It is like, I literally left a smile emoji and it just turned into that. It's actually comical. It's like, can you just not appreciate it being cool? Like how they incorporate like all of Frisk's...
what the 27 comments or replies under the guy who said, I like ducks are.
Is it also a war zone?
I'm just curious.
Bro.
Okay, no. This is just memeing.
Okay, cool. Why couldn't that be...
Why do people not like power scalers, dude? We're so oppressed.
Yeah. Anyways, I really I love like a lot of aspects about this. I love the song choices from Undertale Yellow. I like how Ness's friends show up as well. I like also as well as like how they use Kara showing up as well, and then Ness like is really backed into a corner, and like I like how the detail of them even losing their hat and then Frisk gives it back to them by the end, and I just like it's so cool and good, and God, this is like probably the best animation done in.
But have you ever considered, Hyper, that Azrael wanted to destroy the game world equal multiverse, complex multiversal calculations?
I don't like debating that. Oh my god, it is.
Bro, this animation is so nice. It's a shame that it's going to end with Frisk and all his friends die. And ha 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 ha.
Ha 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 ha.
That literally doesn't happen.
You forgot all the
That literally doesn't even happen.
Go in there.
Yeah, just appreciate y'all art, y'all, and I appreciate it. Thank you, Delight.
Yeah, thank you, Delight. Speaking of appreciating art, can we talk about Kratos versus Asura now?
Yeah, I thought you said appreciating art, not ignoring art. Anyway, so my Twitter got hacked, so I can't actually watch this thing.
Oh yeah. Well,
he talked about this with me the other day. I feel like I should have mentioned it at some point, but I also thought that Nemesis himself would have. No, he's kind of been like, I gotta watch Barbie.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, do you want me to just?
There is interest for the Barbie ranking. I will make that, and it'll be the funniest thumbnail of all time.
Do you want me to just stream it so you can just like, I guess, live react to it? I think it'd be funny.
I'll see it later. I'll find it. Don't worry, I'll find a way.
Hyper, Hyper, we are recording a podcast, bro.
Fair, yeah.
So there's
It's-
this Bakugo
anyways.
versus the pig guy.
Inosuke.
Inosuke.
From
Oh
Seaman.
man, this is such a bad matchup. I'm sure the animation will go to oh
When literally, this kind of just proves that like if you're just good at animation, you can make anything look good, bruh. Like, I was like, oh, okay, why was this tweet? Is like that's a weird thing, and then I saw it. I'm like, oh, okay, it's just animated by like a professional animator who animates like God.
Cool.
yeah, that's Rise's TMNT guy.
All right.
Yeah.
I have nothing to say, so let's move on. You can just see it
It-
right now.
It's really cool. It's really cool. Just check it out. Anyways,
I feel like it would be more memorable if there was a misogynistic Rayman.
All right, now it's time for music moment. There are a handful
Okay,
of tracks.
so-
there's a lot. There's
There's like
a lot.
3 tracks here. So starting with Brandon.
I listened. I listened to like 4 of these.
I'm pretty sure it wasn't One True Absolution here last time.
I've recognized
Was
the
it?
name.
Oh,
We
wait,
start
no,
with Do
I-
You
yeah,
Believe
no,
in
you're
Destiny? Vocal version. Cassandra Assassin's Creed versus Pyrenikos. I didn't mind this. I cannot be the only person to listen to all of them. Like, right, I cannot be the only.
I didn't
person.
listen to all of them. I
I
only
will-
listened to like a couple.
I will shove that baby hippopotamus
I
toy
haven't-
up your ass. I swear to God.
Oh my god.
It has the
I only
perfect
listened
face
to,
for
like,
it.
Adam. I really listened to like a couple of them.
I'm not interested in listening to the Ruby tracks as of late because
There's so
Think-
many.
it's overwhelming.
I got
was-
to
like, I'm
experience
surprised
the
of
live
all-
reaction of a friend watching through Ruby for the first time recently, and it was magical. It's a great experience.
What volume are they on right now?
They finished it. I'm glad Volume
Okay.
9 exists, so they could finish on a really high note. Relatively.
Dude, if they ended on volume 8, oh man.
If they ended on volume 5,
Yeah, the volume where nothing happens. So yeah, this track's alright. I liked it. The next
I
track.
appreciate.
Speak!
You can go ahead. I was waiting on you. I was late.
I was moving on, so speak,
I was
fool!
going to. Okay, I was going to say that the best fight in Ruby is Ryu versus Jin.
Yes, okay, so, Band of Idiots, Shepherd's Crew versus Reds and Blues. I think that's quite amusing that it says Shepherd's Crew, but, like, they don't... I don't really, like... I don't know how else you would really word that.
I think this matchup, tonally speaking, is really fucking weird.
So, I put out, like, I just, like, did, like, a jokey comment in response to Hyper's comment, you know, playing into the joke, and someone's already replied with power scaling.
Awesome.
Anyway, yeah.
No way. Hold on a second.
I think they didn't like argue against me, and the thing I posted as a joke, they just like assumed I was being serious. I think.
Hyper, can you link this so that I can join in?
It's in the
Sure.
fucking Ness Frisk. It's in the document we use. That's a little too far behind the curtain. It's linked. You can access it. It's the top fucking comment. You ninkum skull.
Okay. Why did you mention the documents? Since we're in the music moment, Hyper, we gotta remind you that you can't say the one thing.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
know, I remember.
So yeah, Shepherd's Crew versus Reds and Blues. It's a weird matchup because it's two groups that are constantly at odds with each other, teaming up to take on just a crew of friends.
that.
Yeah, I did
It's
like I like this track though. The matchups, I get it, but why?
They are Marines. I guess.
They are two groups of fighty people in space who are kind of dorks, but also red and blues exclusively comedic with occasional bits of seriousness, and Mass Effect is pretty much serious with occasional bits of goofiness. So it's kind of a weird imbalance there, I think. Just do Shepard versus Chief.
Yeah.
After that is Write My Name, the protagonist of Breaking Bad versus Light Yagami.
Okay, one I listened to. I liked it.
Of course, this is what you listen to.
That is so you. Anyway, I have nothing to say. We can move on to All of Our Power, Dragonzord versus Tigerzord, Power Rangers versus Power Rangers. Why, though? But why?
I feel like this has a canonical answer, right?
Yes.
To be fair, Death Battle did do Hagar versus Zangief, which also has an answer. They did Gogeta
Yes,
versus
but
Vegito recently, and that has several canonical answers.
Yeah. Yeah. I listened to it. It's cool.
I'm not a Power Rangers guy, but I did peep into it because Stronger Together, I still think is one of the best Death Battle tracks to this day. This is not Stronger Together though.
I did like this, but it's literally just the Power Rangers guitar, the track. That's what it is. It's just the Power Rangers guitar. And like,
it is only Power Rangers.
What was I expecting, I guess? After that, we have Superhero, which is a name that feels like it's taking the piss. Gohan versus Invincible.
Gohan featuring Invincible.
Oh yeah, Gohan.
I know the guy who commissioned this track. His name is Kota 2099, I think, on Twitter.
Just dox the guy.
Very chill guy. Yes, I will. Just like you did the Alpha. Very chill guy. Straight to the point whenever he usually talks about stuff. He's fun to talk to. He specifically commissioned this matchup because Gohan obliterates, and that is the joke. When Yates said he wanted joke matchups to commission, that was his conclusion. And you know what?
Pretty good joke.
Can't fault him for that.
That matchup is
I
a
always
joke,
think
so
of
that's
that the starting point, midpoint, final state. That's all I can always think about whenever I think of this matchup.
cool. The track's alright. It's kind of generic to me. We have the original 13, which is Organization 13 versus those dickheads from Bleach.
You know, I thought they were talking about the show Third. Wait, no, there is no show named 13. It was called 16. Never mind.
Yeah, it's 16. Anyway, you guys remember Stoked? You guys remember Stoked?
Yes, I do actually.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, the sun was
I
on.
I didn't have Cartoon Network when that was on, but we did go to Ocean City at one point, and they had Cartoon Network.
Death Battle should
do the only time I watched the show.
The Total Drama versus 16 versus Stoked Battle Royale. I think that'd be a great idea.
I feel like there's a difference in number there.
Just
Also,
Island,
Nemesis,
just Total Drama
Nemesis, is it not crazy that this is the second time we brought up 16 this week alone?
Yes, well, that's... So for context on that one, I've been watching the Barbie films, and the Barbie Diaries is so monumentally hideous to look at that my man's first thought here was, is this the 16 people? But no, because... Well, specifically, it was actually my scene, but it's like the same continuity and, like, I believe, and, like, same... Not continuity, but it's the same, like, group as Barbie Diaries. Diaries is even ugly. Oh, nah, my scene's probably uglier because the characters always have these really bugged out eyes. But there's a resemblance. There is a resemblance. The major differences would be that 16 animates, and the characters don't always stare into your soul, and they have designs.
The gift that I chose for the 16 thing, if you're looking at PMs, And Nemesis. Look at Jonesy's face real quick. Beating fuck Kingdom, Steve. It's the exact same face. And you don't know what I'm talking about, do you?
I need to go back to see what you're talking. I need to go back to DMs. I know the gift you chose. It's the gift.
Yes, but look at Jonesy's face. Does it not remind you of the fucking guy who goes beating fuck Kingdom?
No, I don't know what that is. Maybe I'm just hearing you wrong. I still have a fucked up ear. I didn't clock until now that 16 has purple hair in it.
Alright, next track.
Right, what was the next track?
Which I believe...
Elimination Game.
This is,
Shuichi Saihara versus Hojo from Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, no, dude, I thought it was like, is that just double Shuichi?
Yeah,
no, they
so,
just look
okay.
exactly the same.
Right before we recorded this, we went to this track, and by the way, I like the track. It's good. It's good track. It sounds all dang and rumpery.
Yeah.
I like it. But I was looking at the track art, and I think Hyper was too. We had pretty much the exact same train of thought, like parallel to one another the entire time, in order of, is that just two Shuichis? There's no way the actual character just looks like Shuichi. I'm gonna Google this. Oh my god, he does. He just kind of looks slightly different, but he just looks like an alternate Shuichi. Now I gotta go play this game, and that's just how it went. Both of us together, and we also both hit the roadblock fuck. How do we actually play this game?
Yeah,
I can't get it physically anywhere.
PC port and a sale. Yeah, and I'm hoping for a PC port and not be full price.
Yeah, I'll have to see, because my only option is to get it for $77 on a online store I do not know, and I don't buy from online stores that I don't know. Because I can't get it anywhere else. But yeah, I would like to play this game. It is my kind of murder mystery vision novel. There's like a non-zero chance that Rena's played it.
I actually, I should ask her. I'm curious.
We should just Hyper. I have an idea. Grab that hippopotamus image. Let's just both send that to her, and then follow it up with, "You ever played Process of Elimination?" and just see how she responds.
Sure. Okay. Ready?
Hold on. I'm gonna get the image.
Okay, I got it.
All right. Why you get this up? Can we talk about the next track?
Okay. Now I'm sending.
Yeah. Okay. Done.
And
and let's just not look. Let's just not check what she says in response until we're done.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you ever played Process of Elimination?
Next track would be Key to Mastery: Goku versus Sora. Gumball!
Okay.
You got anything to say, buddy? Pal?
I've said it before. It really just kind of
your fight to Kid Coward. You got your ass beat by a Mickey Mouse.
That doesn't even rhyme. People just like using catch-ups of Sora. They see a character, they say Sora should fight him.
Is Sora just like one of those like Springtrap sand sort of deal where you just pit it against anyone?
I think if you look up Sora in the Death Battle fan and wiki, he has more pages than you have family members.
Most of my family lives on a completely separate hemisphere of the world to me, so like I don't know how big my family is.
That's because of Sora. It's his fault.
One asshole. Goku, kick his ass.
Fuck yeah.
Okay, now we have Serving Royalty, Bowser versus Okay, now we have Merciless, Asgore versus Edelgard. I like this one. Well
this
enough.
One is.
The track
This was decent. It's funny.
The matchup is really funny. But I did like this one. I think the Undertale part was good. And then we have Devils in Spades, Don't Give a Shit versus Esdeath. I say that as if I give a shit about Esdeath. Vocal version. It's
Yeah, no,
I think this was my preferred of the two vocals. Again,
I will get you into Black Clover immediately, if for nothing else, for you to understand just a little bit more, just how much that incident has moved me as a person.
How much Death Battle has made me just not have interest in Black Clover.
Okay,
whatever
I understand
was there
that,
is
and
gone.
I think that's all the more reason, because I
wonder what my list of
it is
things
a
Death
really-
Battle has specifically turned me off would be. Because when it comes to stuff that Death Battle's gotten me into, it begins and ends with the first 2 issues of Bucky O'Hare. And I just haven't had time to get around to reading the rest of them. So, Death Battle's not really gotten me into a lot of stuff. But when it comes to stuff that it's gotten me out of, I think Black Clover's probably the big one. Azura's Wrath is pretty close up there too.
yeah, it's Kratos versus Asura. What do you
would
probably
probably
say
say-
Asura about it?
I was never going to check SpongeBob out in the first place because I just don't give a shit. But the community response definitely killed my interest in that. Same with Arcane. Community just really undid any interest I had to watch that. Might be something else, but yeah. Generally, it seems the running trend is that if there's something I've not seen coming to Death Battle, I'll come out still not wanting to see it. Or I'll come out actively wanting to not see it. And when it's something...
I think I should convince you on Black Clover one day. We'll set up a watch party with your son. I really, genuinely want to show you what it's like one day.
You can try.
I will try.
I've got Kamen Riders to watch, but before that, my son's got to catch up to where I'm at in Hibiki. So I'm going to watch Free Ren during that period instead, and Barbie, of course. But he's got to watch the entire Michael Bay Transformer output. So I've got time between his mental breakdowns to watch Barbie and Free Ren. You know, best friends and all.
I think it.
Can I get some fan art of Barbie
think
as Free Ren? Thanks. Anyway, we can move on to their wolf now.
I think it would be really funny if people just did not realize what you mean by when you say you're son. So people just think you're an actual father, and you just have a little toddler strapped to a chair. You just turn on all of Kamen Rider and leave the room.
So, Madness is fuel. Hank Madness Combat versus something from Ultra Kill that I've not seen.
Good.
I think Madness is fuel is the most insane thing you could have followed it up with. This is how my son thrives.
Oh my.
Oh, you got your kids watching Barney, Blues Clues, and Sesame Street. That's cute. Your son survives. Mine lives. I know that people who are really into these series like this track. I haven't checked it out yet. Never been much of a Newgrounds guy beyond Stick Page, if that qualifies. So this one didn't really catch my interest. But the people who like it really like it. I think this is like in their favorites, what I've seen. So I'll take their word for it.
I'm glad I'm getting updates on my son's experience watching Revenge of the Fallen right now. He's just like, oh, okay, so either I don't pay attention and nothing makes sense, or I do pay attention and it's shit. It's like, yeah, that's Revenge of the Fallen, alright! He just, he clearly takes after me because he described the whole movie so succinctly. So yeah, the next track is Let It Glow, Elsa versus Lux. I like
So
this
see,
one.
this is one I did listen to, and I don't like it.
I don't give a shit what you think. I like
I
it.
was. Well, I don't give a shit what you think. I don't like it.
I matter more though.
This is your YouTube channel.
So yeah, I did like this one.
See, like I was.
It's not really
I was,
a battle
I
track.
was listening to it, and I was. I was like, I was like waiting for it to pick up. So what is it gonna pick up? And then it just didn't.
Yeah, it's not a battle track. If your problem with it is the fact that this is in the context of being a fight track and it's not, then yeah, I agree. I think that as a fight track, this would be so bad. But as just a melody,
Dude.
I think it's quite nice.
I think if you're going to have like a Disney track, a good melody is not to downplay if you think it's good, but I also think it's also kind of obligated if it's a Disney character. Music would be in the forefront, I think. But from a musical standpoint, I don't hate it. It's from a versus standpoint where it's not versus.
Yeah, that I could understand and agree with, yeah. Alright, we have Shining Conduction. Who gives a shit versus who cares?
You're so appreciative of the characters that people drop hundreds of dollars on.
Hey, I mean, if they're happy with what they got, then who am I to judge? Alright, let me take a look. It is Yuma Ilburn from Shining Resonance Refrained. Fuck! I've actually purchased Shining Resonance. Which I did not know is part of my highly beloved Shining series, which I've not played past Shining Force 2. But I love love Shining Force. Yeah, you could not fathom my love for Shining Force. I need to play more of the games. And Stellar Glow, which I don't know.
This is how I discovered it became a franchise even after Shining Force 2. I thought it lived and died with Joker.
No, there's Shining in the Darkness, Shining Force 1 and 2, and then there is a Shining Force 3, and then it continues past there with several other games. Let me get the full list out.
And where does Jack Nicholson fall into all this?
Your mum. So I realized what I just said. So okay. Oh, and Resurrection of Dark Dragon, the Game Boy Advance remake, also fantastic, great remake. I think it's phenomenal. I love Shining Force so much. Oh my god, I love Shining Force 1. One of my favorite RPGs, or even games of all time, I think. Let's see, so Shining in the Darkness, Shining Force Gaiden, Shining Force The Sword of Haja, Shining Force 2, Shining Force CD, Gaiden Final Conflict, Shining Wisdom, Shining the Holy Ark, Shining Force 3 Scenario 1 and 2, why though, and 3, Shining Soul 2, Shining Lag on my fucking phone, Shining Tears, Shining Force Neo, Shining Road to the Force, that's a stupid name, Shining Force Chronicle 1 and 2, Shining Road Priestess of the Dark Dragon, why is it so long, Shining Force Exa, Shining Wind, Shining Force Feather, Shining Force Cross, Shining Hearts, Shining Blade, Shining Arc, Blade Arcus from Shining, Shining Resonance. Oh my god, there's so many fucking versions. There's so many.
Dude, I love.
But I've got Shining Force Refrain,
about.
And I will play it. And I'm just. This will be my introduction, I guess, to a character in the game before I actually play it. So who cares?
Dude,
Probably me eventually. I just poured.
The way you introduced this as who gives a fuck versus who cares, and then I told you maybe you would, and you're like,
yeah,
shit, you're right.
I poured myself a nice tall glass of who the fuck ass juice and just drank it. Yeah. So
Dude,
this was a good track.
I love the mental image of you that's like listing out all these games and fucking Sam and from Death Battle just staring at you and you're like, are you an ass?
Okay, so we got the Wings of Iron remaster. It's fucking great. It's phenomenal-tastic. It's amazing. We got a real man's world.
Be the best part.
I'm not gonna say who gives a shit versus who cares, because I should look at who these characters are before I say that. I know who Kanji is. Versus Kanji
Yeah,
from
yeah,
Persona
that's
4 versus Takatoshi Hijiyama from 13 Sentinels, which I also know what that is.
If you, dude, you should be on Battle Banter for real.
I've not played 13 Sentinels, but I know about it because it was made by Vanillaware, and
If you said who gives a shit about Kanji, we would have killed you on the spot. This would have been the final episode of Crossover Catch Up.
Nah, yeah, I know they didn't yet. But Vanillaware made Unicorn Overlord, which was like my favorite thing that I did of anything last year, and I went back to look at their like catalog of games and found that I can't play any of these. But I know one of them was 13 Sentinels. At least I'm pretty sure it was. So that is on my radar, and technically so is Persona 4.
Okay.
So these are two characters that I will maybe one day come to care about. And I like the track as well.
Kanji is the one that has all the discourse surrounding him, which is a feat because that's every character in the game.
Oh, goated. Did you choose not listen to... I work with amateurs. The next one, Hunter Scourge. Who fucking cares? Versus some guy from Destiny. I also like
from
this
Destiny, then you can say it.
one.
If it's from Destiny, then you can say that.
Yeah, who fucking knows? I don't even know how to say that name. Probably Tanix.
Hey, Hyper, Hyper, you have a fun experience with Destiny, right?
Do you
Talk
believe in
about
Destiny?
it. Talk about Destiny, Hyper.
No.
What's wrong? It's Destiny. It's your favorite.
No.
Nemesis. Now you got a product, Nemesis. This is content.
You sure you don't want to share, Hyper? You want to share with the class?
No.
Come on.
Okay. Let's do it this way. Is it a positive experience with Destiny?
No, it is absolutely not a positive
It
experience.
is the most joyless experience of all time.
Do you like Destiny? I'll take that as a yes. So
Hyper,
yeah.
Hyper, we talk about this, or we talk about Kratos versus Asura. This is your moment of truth.
That's not an ultimatum I'm gonna hit Hyper with. I'm not gonna do that to Hyper. He's my friend. He deserves better than that. So yeah, Ridley versus some guy. It's a decent track. I like it. I like Ridley. Ridley's cool. Ridley versus Krakow is goated, and that should become a death battle. And I don't give a shit.
I was about to say I don't want it to track for what the track is, but Ridley versus Krakow is so fucking awesome.
I fucking love it. You can have your Ridley versus Viles. Vile, who showed up in like what 4 of the 8 X games. Pfft. Ridley versus Vilgax. That dweeboid from that Ben 10 show. Who cares? Ridley versus
that guy that like lost to Aku in that Powerpuff Girls crossover comic. No one's ever heard of him.
But Krakow now. Ridley vs. Krakow is just like Nintendo's versions of Reverse Flash fighting.
Yeah. And like the best thing about it is that it's still cool even though it's a stomp, because as long as there's a sky, Krakow will exist. So
okay, but the idea of Ridley literally just scorching the sky and obliterating it goes so hard. Like, just igniting the sky like with fire. Like, imagine that, though.
One of the only characters that fits the Eobard archetype and has a shot at beating him.
Okay, but Eobard could just erase the sky, which is really funny. He can destroy the universe. He could destroy the sky.
Potentially, but like...
The last track, which I admit I didn't pay much attention to because it was the last one I was listening to, Heaven Sent Revolution, Utena from that show that some people care about, versus Jilian from Heaven's Official Blessing, which I do know about, I think. It sounds familiar. Let me look it up to make sure I'm not talking out my ass.
If this was the character that you didn't know, this would be so cathartic. Considering.
Wait, yeah, I do know this one. Yeah, I do know this one. I think I saw. I believe it has an animation, and I believe I've seen a bit of it. It should have a donghua. I believe when I was watching Daily Life of the Immortal King, I think I accidentally on Bilibili clicked on one of the episodes and watched a bit of it. But I didn't turn subtitles on, so I didn't know what was going on, because a lot of these use like traditional Mandarin, which is not a dialect of Chinese that I can speak or understand. And so I know about this. I don't know anything about the character, but I know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Track's good. I liked it, but I wasn't paying much attention at this point because we was trying to get this going. And we can move on because you guys clearly have nothing to say because you don't listen to music. Hyper.
All right.
Next segment.
Alright,
I do want to say one more thing. I didn't get time to put this into docs, so this is kind of sudden. But Sky, Hilda, they announced on their YouTube community tab that they are retiring from making Versus music. So I figured I should bring that out there as they move on with the next chapter, focusing on the general music career, and then we wish them a good departure.
Alrighty. Good to know. We can move on to Paragraph Pasta. We got Mewtwo versus Shadow by those guys that quit versus blogs.
Yay! It's Mewtwo versus Shadow. People like that matchup, and I'm sounding all sarcastic, but I like it too. So why am I doing that?
He's just tired. Don't worry.
I really like the presentation of it. Like they even got like the way everything's edited, and at like the end with the winner screen, it was also like animated and stuff. Like there's
cool.
A lot of effort that went into this. There's a lot of effort.
I think it's a good blog. I think people should just go read it. I kind of don't want to spoil anything because the way they handled the verdict, I thought was really interesting. And I think people should go and just check it out if they're interested. And if they're not, then they don't give a shit. So we can. Yeah, I thought it was good. Good work, everyone. Except you, Rena. You kind of let me down a bit. You couldn't save the day.
You in particular.
I'm kidding. Rena did good too, I'm sure. Alright, now we can go on to Official Ordeal, which is the one that has the spicy news of the month.
Yeah.
So there is going to indeed be a Godzilla vs. Hulk comic. Let's get that out of the way, because I don't give a shit about Godzilla vs. Hulk. The main thing, though, is... You know what, I'll let Gumball tell his little fucking story. He had like a little narrative he wanted to spin here. I'll let him just do it.
I forgot.
Well, go on!
I whispered it, but I forgot.
You...
I'm tired.
You probably get. You started with Once Upon a Time. So Multiversus is gone. It's been eradicated.
Yeah, no.
No traces left.
Okay. I thought you. Yeah. I thought you were still wanting to talk about Hulkzilla, but yeah, no. So
I ended it with I don't give a shit about Hulkzilla. What do you mean you thought I was going to continue with that?
Okay, my bad. So Multiversus. I started this first day on the stream with John Frost, and as you saw, I probably wasn't all that impressed. I felt bad because that was the game that everyone was coming to, and they were liking it. And then I realized, oh no, it's actually really bad. And then other people realized, oh no, it's actually really bad. And then everyone dropped the game. And now the game's dying, and everyone just kind of assumed that it was Warner Brothers that killed the game with the greed and forcing the game onto a new engine that's compatible. And in reality, all those decisions were made by the head of Player First Games, and Warner Brothers had basically nothing to do with this game's demise. And oh my god, that hurts to hear in so many ways. Because this is like a brand new company. People are like, oh, we're just bullying the company. We should hold accountability for like the bigger conglomerate because they're usually guilty for stuff. And then it's leaked that no, this was entirely a player first games. If not entirely, then the majority. And then apparently there's also a huge thing of finished characters. Scooby-Doo was the big one. We got Lola Bunny instead, who just plays basketball as her moveset, even though we literally have LeBron James. Nothing about this game makes sense or is good.
But it has a banana.
It's just the banana. Oh my god!
What other game can let you do banana versus pickle? Still a shame.
Fortnite
It's still a
soon,
shame that
but-
Ruby Rose never got to be in Multiversus.
It truly is a shame that Warner Brothers shut down the entire company, and then they were almost like, by the way, we're going to use your character for our game. I know people have different sides of that debate. I think that's scummy as fuck.
It is. Also, Rooster Teeth's back, I think. Like,
Yeah, no, that's
happened.
Yeah, that
thing.
happened.
Anyway, Kratos versus Oscar.
oh yeah, actually I'm reminded. It's been brought to our attention that the show of our mutual colleague Noah Green fan battle has been somehow always forgotten in every crossover catch-up we do. So I think we're now
and this is
on
not
to the next part of Official Ordeal, which is the Transformers Synergen Silver Rathalos Optimus Prime that's been announced. It looks great. I
yes.
would have preferred an Azure Rathalos to do like a, midpoint Ultra Magnus Nightwatch Optimus sort of look. And also the blue head would not look nearly as out of place. But the Silver Rathalos looks good. I will be purchasing it because I like Monster Hunter and Transformers a lot. And I think Lyaleus Convoy is just a cool sounding name. I know it's Lyaleus
I
Prime,
really-
but they can
and-
fucking just go to hell. Convoy is what I call them. For like a Japanese
I really
Optimus.
like. I genuinely, honestly, really like it when you get really deep into talking about Transformers stuff because I can't understand any of it, so I just kind of nod along and I'm like, he's talking about his hyper obsession. I do that sometimes.
You do, and I don't try to stop you.
I appreciate it.
There's also, I don't know if there are any more details on this, but there was the reveal of what the Synergen X Macross will be, or at least like a hint, and it looks like it's going to be a Macross Valkyrie with Optimus Prime's head, which I think is dumb and stupid, but I believe that's what Synergen X is going for compared to collaborative series, is instead of what if these things were Transformers, it's what if Optimus Prime was these things. And I think it can work. I think Lyaleus Convoy works because in Japan the convoys just have Optimus Prime's head on them, so I can interpret this as a different unrelated character who is just part of that group of characters. And also there's Kiryu Prime, but that can fucking commit seppuku. But yeah. And we still have not gotten the Kurama Transformer. We completely forgot to bring up when it was announced the Mandalorian Transformer, but also I don't care, and I think it looks kind of dumb. And obviously the Sonic one isn't out yet. But I did get the Agent Knight, I did get the Knight Rider Transformer figure, and it's good. Still have not gotten the Stranger Things one because I don't want it.
Okay.
Why do you sound like you're about to cry? He's like, okay, that's cool. I don't know why I made it sound like that's what you sound like.
What else? Are we?
Yeah,
done
we
with
can
official
move on to Official Ordeal.
You've been on official ordeal.
Sorry, matching matchups. This is what I meant.
Springtrap.
We're talking about
so
Springtrap.
we're just talking about Schlong Trap now.
Yeah.
I was just interested to see about what's going on.
Everyone,
Yeah, you sound really interested.
male
The
pregnant,
tired
react
yawn.
hyper.
The tired yawn, I think, really sold how invested you are right about now.
It was just bad timing. Oops. But like, yeah, no, I was just kind of like curious, like.
Hyper's really eager to play Rivals. You have no fucking idea.
No, okay, maybe, but like, come on.
So Springtrap, he is that funny guy. People give him a lot of funny matchups. Junko is the best one, if nothing else, than out of sheer spite for my best friends, because that's the kind of guy that I am.
Yeah,
And that's kind of the topic right now. We're trying to find the best matchup for Springtrap, which is obviously Junko. It's up there with Kratos versus Asura.
All right, but like, genuinely, what are you two's favorite Springtrap idea, if you have any?
I think the issue
you know
I
what,
have is Springtrap fucking doesn't do shit in any of the things he's actually known for. I understand in the novels maybe there's more to work with, but in the games, right, what he does in FNAF 2
is impregnate
he
people.
kills some children. In FNAF 3 he gets beaten up by, well, nothing. Ghosts show up and scare him and he fucking dies. And then he just kind of runs around hiding behind cameras, and then he bites your head off or something. I don't know. He kind of briskly walks in your direction and you die. In FNAF 4, he's not there. He puts a guy in a suit because he's working his day job. In FNAF Sister Location, he gets up. In FNAF Pizzeria Sim, he looks stupid and has a peanut for a head. He crawls through vents, and then he goes blah, 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 and you die. That's it. That's Springtrap's deal. But my favorite would be the man in the suit. I don't think it's a great matchup, but I think it's probably the one that I would be the most accepting of.
Oh yeah, by the way, unknowingly confirmed the other day that Man in the Suit is cancelled. I'm not sure if you found that out yet.
I actually had not, no.
Huh.
Okay, well, he canceled it because apparently the fandom is really toxic to him. He just can't stay in that headspace.
That makes a lot of sense, and I feel really shit about that.
So back to male pregnancy, Springtrap. See, like, the lore surrounding him gives him a lot to work with, but in actuality, like Nemesis said, he's not one that does much. I also have the problem. So Nemesis went on the tangent of what that battle's taken him out of. If it was any franchise for me, it's Five Nights at Freddy's, which is so funny because it's not even on the show.
You should watch
The community.
FNAF vs. Luigi then.
Five Nights at Luigi could reinvigorate me.
I mean, my
think
episode, you fucking pumpkin.
Yes, I know. Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Do you?
You make the assumption that I don't. What if I'm smarter than I let on? What if I do pay attention? What if I do? What if I do engage with what you have to say because I like you, because you're my friend? But my favorite matchup for Springtrap, I'm not saying that Junko is my favorite, but from the people who genuinely like it that have pitched it, I think it makes sense, and that's why it disgusts me. Although, to be fair, if there was any other franchise that this community has absolutely turned me off of, it's Danganronpa, so it's probably fitting.
I don't like it. Like, as a DR person, I don't like it.
I thought you were gonna say I don't.
I
I thought you were saying you don't like Danganronpa, and I was about to go. Now, Hyper, you know that's a lie. You can't save face here.
No. No, I like it. I just think
You
that
hear that? He
people-
likes Junko versus Springtrap.
I just think people have this perception without actually having to go through the series, which I won't lie, there is definitely bad parts, very bad parts.
Get this shit off my computer.
And yet somehow, if you ranked every Danganronpa and Ace Attorney game, as I said, Danganronpa would not be top or bottom.
Yeah, it's quite funny.
And funnily enough, the top and bottom would be the part of the same sub-series of Ace Attorney.
No, literally, I'm actually agreeing fully with that. It seems
and like, so for me personally, I still prefer Super Danganronpa 2 and V3 to Investigations 2, but I think Investigations 2 is a much better game, as I think I've said this before. So in terms of ranking, Investigations 1's just at the bottom, and then Investigations 2 is at the top. And how did that happen? Like, what caused that to happen?
I don't know. It's like okay, yeah, like I agree. Like I like V3 and 2 more, but I do think 2 is just like it's just so perfect in every way and how everything ties together. But 1 is just so stupid. It's like, how are these part of the same set?
It's like Investigations 1 is Hajime Hinata, and Investigations 2 is Izuru Kamakura.
it's like, I don't understand how you can go from that big of a quality jump. It's ridiculous. But yeah, back to Springtrap. I think my favorite would be. Yeah, I mean, like, I'm not like that invested, but I guess like either maybe Chucky or Bendy, one of the two. I don't really care. I think it'd be neat. And also, for some reason, I stumbled upon like FNAF animations that get like 20 to 40 million views, and it's them like fighting in martial arts and stuff, and I'm like, how does this get so many views?
Children.
Yeah, probably. This is how they imagine in their head of what they do.
I really want to know what Junko Springtrap fans think the fight's gonna look like, because it's gonna be a guy in a suit who does fuck all against a schoolgirl with a baseball bat. Now, if you gave her Monokuma, which she's not even the one who controls Monokuma directly, but ignore that. Let's just say that she's getting help from the little girl with the green hair. Then Monokuma just fucking destroys Springtrap. Like, visually, he's just on a whole other level to everything in Danganronpa. Everything in Danganronpa and FNAF. Monokuma's like the top of, like, how either series ever portrays a character. And then, if you don't give her Monokuma, like, what's she gonna do? Because people like to bring up, like, Glitch Trap and AI Junko, but like Alter Ego Junko is not the same character. She is a completely unrelated like copy. She's not Junko.
All right, yeah. So I finally landed on my matchup. So
okay, he did
thought long and hard about it. I think Springtrap's best matchup is Koro Sensei. I feel.
Go on.
Okay, so.
Okay, hyper ignore him. What do you think?
Fans don't deserve to be happy.
Oh, what was that?
Danganronpa fans aren't happy. We're not getting another game anytime soon. We aren't happy.
What are you talking about? You're getting Danganronpa Fire Emblem from that Wonderland. What are you talking about?
Oh yeah, that.
That doesn't count.
That sure is happening.
Not getting another game. Maybe you're just spoiled.
Danganronpa fans are so starved for games, some of us have even gone to play Inescapable, which is just sad.
Some people are playing 999.
I had such a tragic. I played the PC version, and that was a mistake. Yeah, but yeah, no, Springtrap. He's pretty funny.
What's
Anyways,
your matchup?
I think he should fight. Huh?
What's your matchup?
I just said Bendy or Chucky.
Chucky is probably the best one, but I would like man in the suit more. Though I guess that's seeming pretty unlikely at this point.
I think Screenshot's best matchup is Kratos versus Asura.
I think his best matchup is the house from
Monster House.
the house that living house.
You know, the
that one
shittest
movie,
thing
I
is
forget.
that actually makes a lot of sense. Like,
I was fully expecting you to just say House from House MD.
no, because like the house is
Yeah, that-
is like possessed by someone's soul who died in it. Just like it's just what Springtrap is, and like it always comes back essentially, and it like kills children.
I mean, yeah.
And like you could probably compare like her husband to like what like and all that. This is what's going on with Springtrap. Yeah, I think that would be really funny, because you could literally have the house just eat Springtrap and burn down, and Springtrap will die, and the house probably won't.
If Monster House became like a full-on like series, you could have called the track "You Always Come Back."
I think we're done now.
Yeah, I think we'll leave it there. That's the one.
Yep, Springtrap versus fucking
So
house.
Yep, we really covered new ground. So, before we close off, who wants to talk about Kratos versus